to temper the wind of your obligations to the shorn lamb of your pleasures, you have discovered something that I myself have never yet succeeded in discovering. And as to wages, yes, I want to talk everything quite frankly. In addition to my average yearly earnings, which are by no means small, I have a reasonably large private fortune. Within normal limits, there is no luxury, I think, that you cannot hope to have. Also, exclusive of the independent income which I would like to settle upon you, I should be very glad to finance for you any reasonable dreams that you may cherish concerning your family in Nova Scotia. Also, though the offer looks small and unimportant to you now, it is liable to loom pretty large to you later. Also, I will personally guarantee to you, at some time every year, an unfettered, perfectly independent 2 months' holiday. So the offer stands, my name and fame, if those mean anything to you, financial independence, an assured breathing spell for at least 2 months out of 12, and last but not least, my eternal gratitude. General hard work for a family of two. There, have I made the task perfectly clear to you? Not everything to be done all at once, you know, but immediately where necessity urges it, gradually as confidence inspires it, ultimately if affection justifies it, every womanish thing that needs to be done in a man's and a child's neglected lives. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, said the white linen nurse.
Oh, and there's one thing more,
confided the senior surgeon.
It's something, of course, that I ought to have told you the very first thing of all.
Nervously, he glanced down at the sleeping child and lowered his voice to a mumbling monotone.
As regards my actual morals, you have naturally a right to know that I've led a pretty decent sort of life, though I probably don't deserve any special credit for that. A man who knows enough to be a doctor isn't particularly apt to lead any other kind. Frankly, as women rate vices, I believe I have only one. What I'm trying to tell you now is about that one.
A little defiantly as to chin, a little appealingly as to eye, he emptied his heart of its last tragic secret.
Through all the male line of my family, Miss Malgregor, dipsomnia runs rampant. Two of my brothers, my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather before him, have all gone down, as the temperance people would say, into drunkards' graves. In my own case, I have chosen to compromise with the evil. Such a choice, believe me, has not been made carelessly or impulsively, but out of the agony and humiliation of it, several less successful methods.
Hard as a rock, his face grooved into its granite like furrows again.
Naturally, under these existing conditions,
he warned her almost threateningly,
I am not peculiarly susceptible to the mawkishly ignorant and sentimental protests of people whose strongest passions are an appetite for chocolate candy. For 11 months of the year,
he hurried on a bit huskily.
For 11 months of the year, 11 months, each day reeking from dawn to dark with the driving, nerve-wracking, heart-wringing work that falls to my profession, I lead an absolutely abstemious life, touching neither wine nor liquor, nor even indeed tea or coffee. In the 12th month, June always, I go way, way up into Canada, way, way off in the woods to a little log camp I own there, with an Indian who has guided me thus for 18 years. And live like a wildman for 4 gorgeous, carefree, trail-tramping, salmon-fighting, whiskey-guzzling weeks. It is what your temperance friends would call a spree. To be quite frank, I suppose it is what anybody would call a spree. Then, the 1st of July, 3 or 4 days past the 1st of July, perhaps, I come out of the woods quite tame again, a little emotionally nervous, perhaps, a little temperishly irritable, a little unduly sensitive about being greeted as a returned jailbird, but most miraculously purged of all morbid craving for liquor, and with every digital muscle as coolly steady as yours, and every conscious mental process clamoring cleanly for its own work again.
Furtively, under his glowering brows, he stopped and searched the white linen nurse's imperturbable face.
It's an established custom, you understand,
he rewarned her.
I'm not advocating it, you understand. I'm not defending it. I'm simply calling your attention to the fact that it is an established custom. If you decide to come to us, I couldn't, at 48 begin all over again to have someone waiting for me on the top step the 1st of July to tell me what a low beast I am, till I go down the steps again the following June."
"No, of course not," conceded the white linen nurse. Blandly she lifted her lovely eyes to his. "Father's like that," she confided amiably. "Once a year, just Easter Sunday only, he always buys him a brand new suit of clothes and goes to church, and it does something to him. I don't know exactly what, but Easter afternoon he always gets drunk. Oh, mad fighting drunk is what I mean, and goes out and tries to tear up the whole county." Worriedly 2 black thoughts puckered between her eyebrows. "And always," she said, "he makes mother and me go up to Halifax beforehand to pick out the suit for him. It's pretty hard sometimes," she said, "to find anything dressy enough for the morning that's serviceable enough for the afternoon."
"Eh?"
jerked the senior surgeon. Then suddenly he began to smile again, like a stormy sky from which the last cloud has just been cleared.
"Well, it's all right then, is it? You'll take us?"
he asked brightly.
"Oh, no,"
said the white linen nurse.
"Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, indeed, sir."
Quite perceptibly she jerked her way backward a little on the grass.
"Thank you very much,"
she persisted courteously. "It's been very interesting. I thank you very much for telling me, but—"
"But what?"
snapped the senior surgeon. "But it's too quick," said the white linen nurse. "No man could tell like that, just between one eye wink and another, what he wanted about anything, let alone marrying a perfect stranger." Instantly the senior surgeon bridled.
"I assure you, my dear young lady,"
he retorted,
"that I am entirely and completely accustomed to deciding between one wink and another just exactly what it is that I want. Indeed, I assure you that there are a good many people living today who wouldn't be living if it had taken me even as long as a wink and 3/4 to make up my mind."
"Yes, I know, sir," acknowledged the white linen nurse. "Yes, of course, sir," she acquiesced with most commendable humility. "But all the same, sir, I couldn't do it," she persisted with inflexible positiveness. "Why, I haven't enough education," she confessed quite shamelessly.
"You had enough, I noticed, to get into the hospital,"
drawled the senior surgeon a bit grumpily.
"That's quite as much as most people have, I assure you. A high school education or its equivalent, that is the hospital requirement, I believe,"
he questioned tartly. "A high school education or its equivocation is what we girls call it," confessed the white linen nurse demurely. "But even so, sir," she pleaded, "it isn't just my lack of education, it's my brains. I tell you, sir, I haven't got enough brains to do what you suggest."
"I don't mean at all to belittle your brains," grinned the senior surgeon in spite of himself. "Oh, not at all, Miss McGregor, but you see it isn't especially brains that I'm looking for. Really, what I need most," he acknowledged frankly, "is an extra pair of hands to go with the brains I already possess."
"Yes, I know, sir," persisted the white linen nurse. "Yes, of course, sir," she conceded. "Yes, of course, sir, my hands work awfully well with your face, but all the same—" she kindled suddenly. "All the same, sir, I can't, I won't. I tell you, sir, I won't. Why, I'm not in your world, sir. Why, I'm not in your class. Why, my folks aren't like your folks. Oh, we're just as good as you, of course, but we aren't as nice. Oh, we're not nice at all, really and truly we're not." Desperately through her mind she rummaged up and down for some one conclusive fact that would close this torturing argument for all time. "Why, my father eats with his knife," she asserted triumphantly.
"Would he be apt to eat with mine?"
asked the senior surgeon with extravagant gravity. Precipitously the white linen nurse jumped to the defence of her father's intrinsic honour. "Oh, no!" she denied with some vehemence. "Father's never cheeky like that. Father's simple sometimes. Plain, I mean. Or he might be a bit sharp. But oh, I'm sure he'd never be cheeky. Oh, no, sir. No."
Oh, very well, then, grinned the senior surgeon. We can consider everything all comfortably settled then, I suppose?
No, we can't! Screamed the white linen nurse. A little awkwardly, with cramped limbs, she struggled partly upward from the grass and knelt there defying the senior